Hello and welcome to Kapaun Mt, home of your Kapaun Mt Lady Crusaders. And we're going to start here with the starting lineups for both teams. Starting out for Bishop Carroll will be number 2, Forbes. Kendall Forbes, that is. And now for Kapaun Mt, starting out will be number 5, junior guard Sophia Jamino. Next up for the Golden Eagles will be number 10, Ellie McKillips. And sophomore forward for Kapaun Mt starting is number 12, Wizzy Romer. And next up for the Golden Eagles will be the senior forward, Kylie Doonan, number 13. And the senior, first one up for Kapaun Mt is number 15, Emma Bezdek. Starting at that guard position. And then next one up for the Golden Eagles will be Brent Steven, number 20. And number 21 starting for Kapaun Mt will be Myra Nichols, sophomore guard. And rounding out the lineups for the Golden Eagles will be number 22, Landon Forbes. And for your Lady Crusaders, number 32, senior center, Kate Toma. And coming into the season, this was a matchup that a lot of Kapaun fans had on their calendars. Of course, not only for the girls, for the guys too after this. But coming into this matchup, the Lady Crusaders in desperate need of a win, trying to get some better seeding for playoffs that are just around the corner. About a week and a half left in the season. So the Lady Crusaders really needing to get out of here with a win tonight. And the big storyline here tonight will be number 12, Wizzy Romer, comes in tied for the all-time single-season scoring record for three-pointers. Don't know why I drug that out so much, but she comes into this game at 41, which is the record as I previously stated. So she is one away from breaking that and claiming it as her own. Romer will also tip off for the Lady Crusaders, and she will be going against what looks to be Brent Steven. Or Kylie Doonan, rather. And Doonan will win the toss, and it gets into the hands of number 20, Brent Steven. Before she misses a three, rebound goes to Myra Nichols. Now we'll see the Lady Crusaders on offense for the first time here tonight. As Kate Toma looks around, trying to find something open. Decides to dribble with it, picks up her dribble, now in trouble. Romer cuts toward her, and now loose ball. Toma gets back to dribble and hands off to Romer. Now Romer looking to reset a little bit. Now Bezdek gets it to Nichols. Nichols at the crest, trying to survey the floor, finds someone, finds Toma way beyond the arc. And now Toma finds Bezdek in the corner. Bezdek back to Nichols. Nichols top of the key once again. Jay's doing a great job moving around the arc, but yet to penetrate. Now here comes Romer. Romer kicks back out to Toma. Toma pump fakes, drives, puts up a shot for the free throw line. That is no good. Rebound goes to Kylie Doonan. Now Doonan gets it to Landon Forbes. Or no, excuse me. Kendall Forbes. Kendall Forbes gets it to Brent Steven. Now back to Kendall Forbes. Now back over to Landon Forbes. Landon Forbes drives. We're kicking it back out. And now Kendall Forbes drives, puts up a shot, and that will be no good. In and out. Rebound ends up in the hands of Ellie McKillips. And after a block and a lost shoe, looks like Wizzy Romer's going to come away with that one. Now Jamino resetting, trying to slow down a little bit here, letting Myra Nichols get her shoe back on. As Kate Toma finds Bezdek on the way to the hoop, and Bezdek kicks back out to Myra Nichols, and Myra Nichols is going to shoot that one a little long, and that'll be no good. And the score will remain 0-0. Great defense so far in this matchup, and that will be yet another missed three for Bishop Carroll, as Ellie McKillips misses her first shot of the night. And now here comes Sophia Jamino, once again trying to slow it down. I think that's going to be the key for Kapaun Mt in this matchup. They're going to have to slow it down and make sure that they are controlling the pace of the game if they want a chance to win here tonight. Now Bezdek surveying the floor. Swings over to Nichols. Nichols slowing it down once again, trying to find something. And the Lake Crusaders continue to dribble around the arc. Myra Nichols drives, kicks back out to Jamino. More swing passing around the arc. And now Toma tries to find Bezdek in the paint, but that will be no good. And Bezdek's unable to get a hand on it, and that will be out of bounds off of Toma. Now here come the Golden Eagles. And you see Nichols, picking up her man right as she crosses half court. And I've got to say that's something that Nichols has been key on throughout the season, and that's what her role is on this team, is to be that, really great perimeter defender, as a missed shot from what looks to be Landon Forbes will be rebounded by Sophia Jamino. Now Jamino slowing it down once again, sizing up the defense, finds Romer. Romer loses it, and Kendall Forbes will have it now. Now Toma swats a pass away, but that'll be gathered there by Landon Forbes, and Landon Forbes able to knock down the jump shot from the paint. And that's something that the Golden Eagles are going to look to capitalize, getting those turnovers in transition, and then, keeping up the pace, trying to score in transition as well. So we'll see what happens here tonight as Toma tries to find Myron Nichols, but that will be deflected outside, outside the lines, I should say, by Elena Killips. And now Lizzie Romer going to be inbounding as Kate Toma heads off the floor in favor of Maddie Spears. Now Romer inbounds to Nichols. Nichols back to Jamino. Jamino finds Bezdek. Now Bezdek looks around. Bezdek from the crest finds Spears in the corner. Spears to Jamino. Jamino inside trying to make something happen. Kicks back out to Romer. Romer gives it back to Jamino. Jamino thinks about shooting, and thinks again. And looking to slow down once again. If you're looking on the screen, there's a lot of these passes around the arc, and they're trying to get it inside, with those two low post players, but there's just nothing going on. There's no interior penetration, I should say, because most of those Carroll defenders are staying home and not allowing any interior passes. Now Nichols going to try to work from three. That'll be no good. Now up the court, that is Hinkie, and Hinkie will be fouled. And Hinkie will miss her first, so she goes to the second. As now Tilly Jones comes on in favor of Myra Nichols. Another substitution for the Golden Eagles is Kapaun Mt, number 42 on your screen. As Hinkie misses her second. Goes 0 for 2 at the line. And now Jamino. There's yet to score in this matchup, looking to get something going on this possession. Bezdek retreats a little bit before driving. Kicks back out to Maddie Spears. Maddie Spears once again looks around, finds Bezdek in the corner. Good pass. Let's see what Bezdek can do with it. Bezdek kicks back out to Spears. Spears to Tilly Jones. And now back to Jamino. Jamino drives, puts up a shot. That will be no good. Rebound goes off the hands of Tilly Jones and out of bounds. Now it'll be Golden Eagles ball. And now Bryn Stephen going to come back in favor of Kylie Doonan. Let's see what the Lake Crusaders can do on defense as a shot goes up from Bryn Stephen. That'll be no good. Rebounded by Kendall Forbes. Kendall Forbes puts up a shot. That'll be no good. Rebounded by, looks to be nobody, as that is off the hands of Emma Bezdek out of bounds. Tilly Jones will look to be trying to make something there on the save, but unable to convert. And we'll see what happens now. As Landon Forbes will inbound to her sister, Kendall Forbes. Now, Kendall Forbes looking to reset the offense a little bit here. Gets to her sister once again. In the Bryn Stephen on the wing. Bryn Stephen puts a shot blocked by Lizzie Romer. Rebounded by Maddie Spears. Maddie Spears pushing it up. Gets past Landon Forbes. Loses it. And then gets it over to Tilly Jones. Tilly Jones gets it to Bezdek. Bezdek scanning the floor. Gets it back to Maddie Spears. Maddie Spears gets an inside. No, she doesn't. Tries to get inside to Lizzie Romer. That'll be deflected by Bryn Stephen. Now coming back into the game is Kylie Doonan for the Golden Eagles. Emma Bezic and Lizzie Romer head off the floor in favor of Kate Toma and Myra Nichols for KMC. McKillips also enters the game for Bishop Carroll. We'll see what the Lady Crusaders can do now. Still in need of their first basket with 2:09 left to go in the first quarter. Great defensive matchup on both sides, though. Now Kate Toma gets it to Sophia Gemino. Sophia Gemino back to Myra Nichols. Myra Nichols passes deflected, but ends up in the hands of Sophia Gemino. Gemino finds Kate Toma once again. Toma back to Tilly Jones. Tilly Jones from the crest. Gives it back to Gemino. And now Kate Toma gets to Sophia Gemino once again. Gemino from the corner puts up a three. That will be no good. Out of bounds as it hits the top wire of the backboard. So that'll be heading their way. Wizard Romer checking back in favor of Sophia Gemino. And now here comes the Golden Eagles. Now Landon Forbes gets it to Kylie Doonan. Now back to Landon Forbes. Landon Forbes spins out of the defender. And her pass will be picked off. That's Myra Nichols. Myra Nichols racing down the floor. Will be caught up. That's Landon Forbes on the steal. Now Forbes in trouble. Is deflected by Maddie Spears. Maddie Spears gets to the Lizzie Romer. Lizzie Romer for three. That is no good. Put back by Tilly Jones is good, however. And that gives the Lady Crusaders their first points of the night. And they come from Tilly Jones. Now all tied up at 2. See what the Lady Crusaders do on defense. They've done a great job so far, only allowed one basket. And now looking to reset. Lady Crusaders getting into their defense. That's Kylie Doonan on your screen resetting the offense. And now Kendall Forbes doing the same thing. Presumably waiting for the last shot. But you know, this is a technique that's usually frowned upon. I mean, you're wasting valuable time just so you cannot give your opponent another shot. And now Kendall Forbes, that'll be no good. And that will presumably end the quarter as Kate Toma gets a rebound. And now Maddie Spears is going to get up to the Wizard Romer now and the first quarter of play. But, that could show you that, that last possession there by Bishop Carroll can show you that, they're afraid of what the Lady Crusaders can do on offense. I mean, they had a rough quarter to open things up, but, it shows that, they don't want to give them back the ball and they don't want to give them another chance to let their offense shine. So, going into the second quarter, the offense is going to be definitely something that the Lady Crusaders can need to focus on. They only put up 2 points. But, on the other hand, Bishop Carroll's only put up 2 points. So, overall, this isn't exactly where you want to be, but it's not a bad place to be. You got to think of it as, 0-0 once again. You got to think about, now you're playing a game in 3 quarters rather than 4. So, Coach Graff gets a chance to talk with his girls. He's got to be thinking, it's not all bad. They just got to go back out there, maybe see a few things that Carroll's been doing and, react to them a little bit. But you don't want to change it up too much, especially on defense. Myra Nichols has been shining so far this game. So we'll see what they can do, or she can do, along with the rest of the Lady Crusaders. Sorry, a little bit of a tongue twister there. And so here we go. It looks like the Lady Crusaders are going to send their starting lineup back out. That's, of course, Sophia Gemino, Emma Bezdek, Myra Nichols, Kate Toma, and Lizzie Romer. And it looks like Carroll will do the same, of course, reminding you that is Kendall Forbes, Landon Forbes, Ellie McKillips, Kylie Doonan, and looks to be Bryn Steven, yes. Now here come the Lady Crusaders. They're going to get the first shot on offense. As Kate Toma brings it up. And now a pass into the hands of, looks to be Myra Nichols. Myra Nichols tries to make something happen, gets it back out to Sophia Gemino. Sophia Gemino puts up a runner. That is good for her first points of the night. Puts Capen up by 2. Let's see what Carroll can do to respond. Now Kylie Doonan Gets it to Landon Forbes. Landon Forbes now drives. Excuse me. That was a pass from Brent Stephen, I mean. Nevertheless, ends up in a missed shot from Kylie Doonan. That rebound goes to Kate Tillma now. Nichols races up the floor, gets it out to Bezdek. Bezdek back to Kate Tillma. Kate Tillma gets it back to Jamino. Now Jamino looking to reset. Gets it to Bezdek. Bezdek gets it to Nichols. Now Nichols. Dribbling around that arc, finds Bezdek once again. Now Bezdek nearly travels, and now it's picked off. That's Brent Stephen. Brent Stephen gets it to Landon Forbes. Landon Forbes going to put up a shot. That'll be good. That ties it all up at 4. Now Myra Nichols, excuse me. Gets it to Kate Tillma. Kate Tillma inside to Romer. Romer will be fouled. That'll be a first team foul, first personal foul for Kendall Forbes. Now group substitution for the Golden Eagles is Kendall Forbes, Landon Forbes, and looks to be Kylie Doonan heading off in favor of Kapaun Mt, number 4, Martin, and then number 14, Hankey. And now Myra Nichols unable to get a layup to go. That rebound goes to Kapaun Mt. And now Brent Stephen brings it back up. It's in the hands of Hankey. Hankey allowing the offense to develop. Gets it back to Brent Stephen. Now Brent Stephen guarded by Tillma. Nearly throws an interception. And now a 3 going to be knocked down by Ellie McKillips. Gives the Golden Eagles back the lead. And now Jamino swung it down a little bit here. Trying to get something out of her offense to respond. Now Myra Nichols finds Romer in the corner. Romer inside to Bezdek. Bezdek backs her woman down, and that'll be no shot from her. And she gets it back out to Romer. Now Bezdek. Now Bezdek drives. Layup good. The senior gets her first points of the night. Now just down by 1. Lakers need a turnover on defense. As a missed 3 from Brent Stephen ends up in the hands of Myra Nichols. Now Myra Nichols going the other way. That's Kate Tillma. That pass ends up in the hands of, excuse me. And now Tillma in trouble. Is going to be called for a travel. As Kendall Forbes and Landon Forbes come back in for Brent Stephen. And looks to be Ellie McKillips. A little bit of a miscue there by Golden Eagles, but looks to be all right now. Now Kendall Forbes kicks to Hankey. Hankey guarded by Jamino is going to lose it. Jamino with the steal. Now Jamino one-on-one. Puts up a shot. That would be no good. And now Hankey is racing on the floor. In a 4v2 situation. Tillma comes up with a block. No. That would be a foul. Tillma's going to make Martin shoot for points. The 2 shots. Carroll 0 of 2 so far. And they're going to have to wait for a made one on, I don't know, they're 0 for 3 now. That's what I'm trying to say. Not exactly where you want to be, especially in a close game like this. And second one will be no good as well, as Carroll will now be 0 for 4. However, Kendall Forbes able to get the rebound, and now Kate Tillma with the massive block on the 3-point attempt. And now Myra Nichols is going to step out of bounds trying to save a loose ball. So Carroll will get yet another opportunity on this possession. Now Kendall Forbes gets it into her sister Landon Forbes. Gets it over to Martin. Martin back to Hankey. Hankey, top of the key, gets it back to Kendall Forbes. Kendall Forbes goes all the way back to the logo before getting it back to Landon Forbes. The defensive side for the Lake Crusaders has been good. I mean, they've been doing a great job excluding that play. As that Hankey way up puts the Golden Eagles up by 3. But what I was going to say is, they've been doing a good job on defense. I didn't mean to say that, but what I was saying is that they've been doing a great job, staying home and not allowing for any interior penetration. However, that last possession allowed a point, or 2 rather, and now Emma Bezdek knocks down the mid-range shot to put her team within 1. But now Mount is on the other end with an assist from Landon Forbes. Split the Golden Eagles right back up by 3. See what the Lady Crusaders can do to respond. As Kate Toma gets to the Myra Nichols. Myra Nichols gets it to Kate Toma. Toma thinks about putting up a shot. Thinks better of it. And now Myra Nichols trips and falls. Got to create some space for Toma. Toma unable to knock down the jump shot. And now Kendall Forbes with nobody around her, unable to knock down the layup. And that rebound will go off the hands of Emma Bezdek as a big group substitution for both teams as Myra Nichols, Myra Nichols stay on the floor. Myra Nichols will head off the floor in favor of Tilly Jones, and Kate Toma will head off in favor of Maddie Spears. And it looks like Doonan along with McKillips make their return for the Golden Eagles. Now Kendall Forbes tries to get past Tilly Jones but can't. Gets an inside pass to Brent Stephen, and that connects for a layup. Now Golden Eagles up by 5 as Tilly Jones looks to set up the offense. Gets to Maddie Spears. Maddie Spears back to Emma Bezdek. Bezdek going to be intercepted by Kendall Forbes. Kendall Forbes able to knock this layup down, and it looks like Coach Graff will not take a timeout. This will be Bishop Carroll's first timeout. Want to give their girls a break. It also allows for Coach Graff to regroup with his girls, now down by 7. I talked about, coming into the second quarter, the score was 2-2. You gotta think of that as, a 0-0 start. And while you can't think of that, you guys still gotta put some points up on the board. And they've done that. They've tripled their first quarter totals, but they're still, getting outdone by the Bishop Carroll Golden Eagles right now. So that's something they're gonna have to work on, and I think it's something they're very capable of. Doing and executing on. And so we'll see what the Lady Crusaders can do. The defense is still good. They're going to have to, play a little bit tougher, a little bit more like they did in the first quarter. But overall, they've done a good job. As Kate Toma and Emma Bezdek are the only ones with fouls. Kate with 2 team fouls. Bishop Carroll only with 1. The refs will let them play a little bit here tonight. So I'd like to see, not that I like to see. I think that the Cape and Lake Crusaders are going to take advantage of that. Play a little bit rougher, play a little bit tougher, and not allow any easy baskets. And now Myra Nichols going to setting up the offense for Cape Mount Carmel. We'll see what they can do with their opening possession out of the timeout. As now Maddie Spears gets it to Nichols once again. Nichols in trouble, hands it off to Romer. Romer double teamed, gets it to Bezdek. Bezdek going to be fouled on the way to the rim. Now we'll send Bezdek to the line for the first free throws of the Lady Crusaders night. Bezdek currently leading the team in scoring with 4. So she can knock down these. First one is up and good. Now, second one good as well. And a successful possession there for the Lady Crusaders. See what they can do on defense now. As it looks like Landon Forbes bring it up for the Golden Eagles. Now Forbes finds, looks to McKillips. Now McKillips kicks back out to Landon Forbes. Back out to McKillips. McKillips in trouble, finds Landon Forbes once again. And now Forbes finds Kylie Doonan. Now Doonan gets back out to Forbes. Now Bryn Steven on the wing. Tries to find some space, guarded by Romer. Kicks it back out to Landon Forbes. Forbes pulls up from the free throw line. That will be no good. Rebound goes to Kylie Doonan, and Kylie Doonan unable to get the putback to go. But Landon Forbes once again gets the rebound. And this one will be intercepted by Tilly Jones. Tilly Jones gets it to Emma Bezdek, and now Bezdek trying to get something going on offense with just 45 seconds left to play in the half. And now Forbes will tip the pass out of bounds. Kapaun will have another opportunity here as Henke and Kapaun Mt head on now in favor of Landon Forbes and Kylie Doonan. Now Myra Nichols, brings it up. And Myra Nichols puts up a three-pointer. That'll be no good. And now Mount in trouble. Gets it to Bryn Steven. Now Bryn Steven racing up the court. Tries to get it to Henke, and now Henke gets it to Kendall Forbes, and Kendall Forbes able to knock it down from the mid-range. And that puts Carroll up by 7, And now Maddie Spears puts up a shot that'll be no good. As Bryn Steven gets the rebound, and now we'll end the half. Score 17-10. And so Coach Graff will head into the locker room, discuss with his girls, and come back out looking to dominate. And until then, join us back in about 20 minutes as we step aside for the Kapaun Mt Carmel Palmies. Oh, and welcome back to Cape Mount Carmel Lady Crusader basketball. We're going to get right back into it now as the Bishop Carroll Golden Eagles start off on offense, and they lead now by 7. And so we'll see what they can do with their first offensive possession. Landon Forbes facing some tough defense there from Myra Nichols. And Kendall Forbes' pass will be deflected out of bounds, intended for Kylie Doonan. And now Landon Forbes from the corner. That would be good. Three-pointer puts the Golden Eagles up by 10. And now the Lake Crusaders look to respond. Now Kate Tillman tries to get inside and does. It's Emma Bezic on the low post. That goes right back out to Tilma. And now here comes Sophia Germino. Lets the offense develop. Finds Tilma. Tilma drives. And that will be picked off. And as Kendall Forbes ends up with it, and now up to Landon Forbes. Now all the way across the court to Bryn Steven for 3. Bryn Steven no good on her attempt, and that ends up in the hands of Emma Bezdek. And Emma Bezdek now brings it up for the Lake Crusaders, gets in the hands of Kate Tilma once again. Now Tilma scoping out the court. Tries to find Romer, but can't. And now Sophia Germino gets to Myra Nichols. Now Nichols finds Germino. Germino drives, puts a shot. That would be no good. Off the left iron there. And now Landon Forbes gets the rebound, gets it to her sister, Kendall Forbes. Now Kendall Forbes, cross-court pass to McKillips. That finds her and the bomb in the net. McKillips hits the 3 from the wing. And timeout will be called by Coach Graff. And not exactly the start he wanted to the second half. But, you know, nevertheless, you got to pick yourself up and get back into the game as best you can. And now, on the other hand, if you're a Golden Eagles, that's exactly how you wanted to start out the second half, coming out and knocking down 2 threes, excuse me. And you're playing pretty good defense. Both sides are in this one. And so whenever you come by points, you gotta take advantage of it. You gotta, can't be too caught up on, when they come or how many they come by. And I don't know what I'm saying, but I guess the point I'm trying to make is that, when you get opportunities to score, you got to take them, and then once you do score, you got to build on those opportunities and, keep building on what you've already started. Now breaking from the timeout, looks like Tilly Jones will be heading onto the court in favor of Sophia Germino. Germino will get a breath on the bench, as Carroll will stick with their same lineup. Now Tilly Jones finds Myra Nichols at the crest. And now back to Jones. Jones finds Kate Tilma. Tilma scopes around, looks in, now dribbles around the arc, finds nothing. Eventually finds Nichols, and now Nichols at the logo. As I've said previously, Bishop Carroll doing a great job of staying home on defense, not allowing any interior passes or any interior penetration by the Lake Crusaders. And so then you gotta make something happen. That's what happens right there. Great find by Myra Nichols, even though it ends up in a missed layup from Emma Bezdek. That's what they're gonna have to do. You're gonna have to create some movement, maybe create some open passing lanes, or just do that as Myra Nichols strips what looks to be Landon Forbes for the breakaway layup, and that gives Nichols her first basket of the night. Now 1 of 3. Or 1 of 4, excuse me. That brings her within 9. Brings her within 11. And now after a basket from Kendall Forbes, that lead goes back up to 13. Now Myra Nichols will be fouled on her way to the basket. However, that'll be on the floor. So Emma Bezdek will inbound, under her own basket. Now checking into the game is Hankey and Martin for the Golden Eagles as Emma Bezdek knocks down a 3. First 3 of the contest for Kapaun Carmel, and Kapaun Mt also enters the game for Bishop Carroll. Now only down by 10. Crusaders are able to get a spot as a Martin missed 3 ends up in the hands of Kate Tomo. Now pass intended for the Wizard will be batted out of bounds, by Kendall Forbes. And it looks like Kate Toma and Myra Nichols head off the court now in favor of Sophia Gemino and Maddie Spears. Now Gemino looking around, finds Bezdek. Bezdek finds Jones. Now Jones gets to Maddie Spears. Maddie Spears. Pass tipped once again by Kendall Forbes, and once again that'll be out of bounds off of Kendall Forbes, and Tilly Jones will inbound. Now, third time's a charm for the Lady Crusaders. Let's see what they can do on offense. Down by 10. Now Gemino gets to the Bezdek. Bezdek drives, uses the baseline to her advantage, and gets yet another basket. Now, well ahead of her teammates with 11. And Bezdek just absolutely dominating here tonight. After an air ball ends up in the hands of Sophia Gemino. Gemino trying to take it coast to coast, loses it, and will be forced out of bounds, and that will be Bishop Carroll ball. Now Landon Forbes will inbound. Gets it to Kendall Forbes. Now Landon Forbes looks around, finds Kylie Doonan in the corner, and now ends up back into the hands of Landon Forbes once again. Now Carroll feeling it, slipping a little bit, looking to slow down the offense yet again. And, do what they do best, slow pace, gritty type of basketball. Now here come Golden Eagles. As Martin drives, puts up a layup. That will be no good. Rebounded by Romer. Romer gets to Maddie Spears. Maddie Spears gets it up to Tilly Jones. And now Jones surveys the floor, tries to find Romer, but we picked off once again. That's Kendall Forbes heading up the court on your screen, and she's able to get the jump stop shot from the block to go. And that gives Kendall Forbes 8 on the evening, leading her team in scoring. As Carroll now up by 10 once again. Lady Crusaders still in this game, but doing a better job, getting those offensive possessions to end up in points, executing on offense. But now they're slipping a little bit on defense, and that's not something you can't do one or the other. You got to play great on both ends if you want to come back and eventually hopefully win this game. So we'll see what happens here. As Tilly Jones will inbound after the timeout. Kapaun Carmel will have 3 timeouts remaining. And hopefully after timeout, Coach Graff can set up an offense and play that will end up in some points for Kapaun Carmel. And Romer will be fouled once again. That'll be second team foul for Bishop Carroll. First personal foul on Landon Forbes. And as I previously mentioned, both sides are doing a great job of, not fouling, but on, the other end of that, the refs are, letting the girls out there play a little bit tougher than they usually do. So, Caden's going to have to take advantage of that, playing to the best they can on defense and not allowing any easy baskets to come from Bishop Carroll. And now passing around the arc, trying to get something inside. Nice Spears. Gets it to Jamino. Now Jamino drives, puts up a runner. That will be no good. Rebounded by Landon Forbes. As now up the court, that's Kylie Doonan. And Kylie Doonan gets it back to Landon Forbes. Back to Kendall Forbes now at the logo. Now, Brent Steven gets it to Landon Forbes once again. Now, Landon Forbes gets it back to Brent Steven. Brent Steven from the mid-range. That is no good. Rebounded by Maddie Spears. Maddie Spears going to get tangled up for a jump ball. And the possession area is going to be in favor of Kapaun. So that'll be Kapaun Mt. Carmel ball heading the other direction. And Sophia Dramino and Tilly Jones head off the court in favor of in favor of Myra Nichols and Tilly Jones. Tilly Jones, yeah, sorry. Wayne Forbes going to check out for Bishop Carroll in favor of Hankey. And it looks like Kapaun Mt also entering the game for Bishop Carroll. And as Toma unable to convert on the layup. As Hankey gets it up the court to Kendall Forbes and gets it to Brent Steven, who was fouled on her jump shot, and she'll head to the line for two. Carroll shooting their first free throws of the second half, 0 for 4 in the first. So let's see what they can do. Able to hit the first. As it also looks like Landon Forbes checking back in for Bishop Carroll in favor of Kendall Forbes. And it looks like Brent Steven going to go 2 for 2 at the line. Gives her first points of the night. And that extends the Bishop Carroll lead to 12. And Myra Nichols gets it to Tilly Jones. Under a minute remaining, just 50 seconds left in the third quarter. And Kapaun in need of some points. And it looks like Nichols will be stripped. And Carroll, once again, going to wind down the clock. Under 30 seconds now. Carroll still passing it around. And I'm not going to, or excuse me. It looks like Brent Stevens going to pull up from three. That'll be no good. Rebound goes to Emma Bezdek. And now Kapaun with a chance to make a basket. And potentially cutting that deficit as Lizzie Romer going to be fouling her way to the basket, and she'll head to the line for 2 shots. 6.7 seconds remaining in the third quarter. And now Romer going to knock down her first. And now second one is going to be up and good. And lane violation going to be called. So looks like that second one won't count. And last second basket going to be no good on both counts. As both Landon Forbes and Brent Steven missed their last second layups. And we'll head into the final quarter with a score of 29-18. Bishop Carroll leading by 11. And if you're Coach Grafton, it's the same mentality you had coming into the mid few minutes of the third quarter. I mean, you gotta keep your head up. You gotta keep your girls' heads up, and you gotta be thinking that you're not out of this. You're down, but you're not out. You gotta keep your girls going, and potentially set up some offense, set up some defense, and potentially come back and win the basketball game. Let's see what happens here. The third quarter break. Saw Kapaun press a little bit to end the third quarter of play, so we might see a little bit more of that heading in to the final quarter. But only time will tell. I think that'd be a good strategy for Kapaun Carmel. The more pressure you can apply, as long as you're not giving up, easy transition points, the more pressure you can apply, the better position you're going to be in. Come back and win. And now here come the Golden Eagles. They'll start out quarter on offense. As Landon Forbes will bring it up. Drives and finds what looks to be Kylie Doonan on the inside. However, she's unable to knock that shot down. Rebound goes to Kate Tilma. And now back to Sophia Jamil to bring it up the court. Myra Nichols now. Guarded by McKelly, playing some good defense. As now Nichols gets it back from Bezek. Nichols uses the baseline, gets the layup to go. And now Landon Forbes looking to respond, finds her sister Kendall Forbes, and Kendall Forbes drives and with some nice moves, able to get the basket, but is unable to convert on the layup. Rebound goes to Emma Bezdek. And now Bezdek gets it to Jamino, and now Kapaun with a little bit of momentum in their favor, looking to respond on offense and looking to get something going, potentially a run that they desperately need. And now Myra Nichols tries to get it inside to Lizzie Romer, however, that would be no good. And intercepted by Landon Forbes. And Landon Forbes will bring it up for Bishop Carroll. Now Bishop Carroll, once again, not slowing down. We saw that in the first half a little bit and in the third quarter. They did a great job, slowing down, controlling the pace of the game. It looks like they're speeding up a little bit, and that's causing more errors. And that could be potentially from the Kapaun defense, but also could be some miscommunication. As Landon Forbes airballs yet another three-pointer, and Kendall Forbes gets the rebound, puts it back, and she'll be fouled while in the act of shooting. So she'll head to the line for two. And she'll knock down the first. As Tilly Jones checks in for Myra Nichols. And able to knock down a second as well. So now Carroll shooting 50% from the free throw line in tonight's contest. As Jamino brings it back up the court. It's going to be picked off by Landon Forbes. Now Landon Forbes going to be picked off by Jamino. Now Jamino pushing up the court. Finds a lane, gets it to, Kate Toma. And Kate Toma able to convert on the layup. And it looks like timeout going to be called by Coach Graff. That'll be his third, yes. That'll be his second of the contest. He'll have 3 remaining. And Coach Graff, you got to be happy with what the girls have been doing so far in the final quarter, but you have to keep telling them to do it. I mean, they've come part of the way, but they got a long ways to go. So we'll see what happens. Kapaun's going to stick with the same lineup, going back out after the timeout. And here comes Kendall Forbes, the leading scorer for Bishop Carroll, with 10 on the evening. And now some tough defense from Tilly Jones, ends up in a jump ball. Possession in favor of Kapaun once again. So that'll be KMC ball going the other way. Great play there by the sophomore to get the ball back for Kapaun. And here comes Sophia Jamino. And now Jamino going to be fouled on her way to the basket, and she'll shoot 2. Crusaders perfect from the line so far. 3 of 3 so far with that lane violation. And now Jamino able to convert on the second one, or excuse me, the first shot. And now looks to make the second one to bring it within 7. Second one goes well. Now just 7 points in between the Lady Crusaders and a comeback win. So let's see what happens. As Kate Tomo will head off the floor in favor of Maddie Spears. As Emma goes to Landon Forbes. Landon Forbes bringing it up for Bishop Carroll. Forbes kicked it back out to Martin. Martin's three going to be off the mark. And foul going to be called underneath the basket. Tilly Jones going to be called for her first personal. Team foul number 3 for KMC. Now Landon Forbes will inbound, gets to her sister Kendall Forbes, who loses it. And facing a double team is in trouble. Kicks it back out. Ends up in the hands of Landon Stephen on the other end of the court. And now, after some miscommunication, looks like Kylie Doonan able to spin out of her defenders and get an easy layup. So we'll see what the Crusaders can do to respond. And Sophia Jamino drives, puts up a shot. That'll be no good. Rebounded by McKillips. And jump ball going to be, foul going to be called on Lizzie Romer. Her second personal foul, team foul number 4 for KMC. And now Forbes able to break into some open space, gets it to Kylie Doonan. Kylie Doonan unable to knock down the mid-range shot. Ends up in the hands of Ellie McKillips. Ellie McKillips will get her second personal foul, it looks like. Team foul number 5. And now Kapaun, yet again looking for something on offense. As Nichols looks around, guarded by McKillips. Tries to find Jamino as Jamino now gathers the pass and faces some contact as she drives to the basket, and that'll be no good. Now a full court pass to Landon Forbes. Now ends up in the hands of Kendall Forbes, excuse me. Now Kendall Forbes gonna hit the ground hard after the foul, and she'll head to the line for 2. That will be the third personal foul on Lizzie Romer. Fifth team foul for KMC. As Kendall Forbes able to knock down the first free throw. Unable to knock down a second. Still shooting 30% from the line. As timeout is called by somebody. Carroll. Carroll will take their third timeout of the contest. They'll have 2 remaining. And now within 10, Kapaun has a realistic chance to come back in this basketball game. We're still going to have to work for it. It's not going to be a gimme, obviously. If they do what the coaches tell them, if they run the plays they're told to run, I think they got a good chance. They always make it competitive, if not come back and win. As Brent Steven enters the game once again for Bishop Carroll. And Kapaun 6 with the same lineup. Now Romer guarding Brent Steven will force ball out of bounds. Foul's actually going to be called. That will be Lizzie Romer's 4th personal foul, team foul. Oh, no, excuse me. Apologize. That's going to be on Sophia Jamino, her first personal foul, team foul number 6. So Landon Forbes drives, and picks. And now after some tussling, jump ball will be called. Bishop Carroll has the arrow, so they'll have it under their own basket. Now Landon Forbes inbound finds Kylie Doonan, and Kylie Doonan able to convert on the layup. Gives her 4 on the evening. And that extends the Bishop Carroll lead to 12. Now Myra Nichols drives, will be fouled on her way to the basket. And that will send Myra Nichols to the line for the 6th and 7th free throws of Kapaun Carmel. They're perfect so far. The first miss for Kapaun Carmel. Emily Jacobs now entering the game for KMC. Kaylin Mount and Ellie McKillips. Oh, no, excuse me. Martin, number 4, entering for Carroll, along with Kaylin Mount. And now foul going to be called. That will be on Kendall Forbes, her 2nd personal. Team foul number 7. That puts Kapaun into the bonus. And Bezek will be shooting for KMC. As first free throw will be no good, so that'll be heading the other way in the hands of Kendall Forbes. Now Martin will be fouled by Lizzie Romer. That'll be Romer's 4th personal foul, team foul number 7. Now Martin will shoot 1-on-1. And the first one will be good. Second free throw will be up and good as well. Now 7-12 from the free throw line, like the Golden Eagles are. And let's see what Carroll can do on defense. It's Kapaun down by 14. Looking for a spark. Now Tilly Jones will be pickpocketed and will get it back. Now Jones finds Emily Jacobs. Emily Jacobs puts one up from 3. That will be no good. Now go out of bounds. And with 2:42 left to go in the game, Carroll still up by 14 as Maddie Spears will check in for Lizzie Romer. And now Kaylin Mount will be the inbounder, and it looks like Emma Bezek will foul Kendall Jacobs as she tries to receive that inbound pass. And that'll be team foul number 8, Emma Bezdek's 2nd personal foul. Kendall Forbes misses her 1-on-1 opportunity and it looks like Kaylin Mount's going to get the rebound. However, she'll be intercepted by Tilly Jones. Tilly Jones gets to Emma Bezdek, and now Emma Bezdek brings up for KMC. She finds Maddie Spears in the corner. And now Spears in trouble, gets stolen. Ball gets stolen from her, Landon Forbes will be fouled by Emma Bezdek. That'll be her 3rd personal foul, team foul number 9. Now Kaylin Mount will head off the floor in favor of Kylie Doonan. And Landon Forbes will shoot 1 and 1 for Bishop Carroll as Maddie Spears and Emily Jacobs head off the floor in favor of Lizzie Romer and Kate Toma. As Myra Nichols also checks back in favor of Tilly Jones. And here come the Lady Crusaders once again. Toma puts up a shot. That will be good. Toma able to convert on the layup. Gives Toma 4 on the evening. And timeout can be called by Kapaun. They'll have 2 remaining. And quick little shout out to Cape Mount Carmel fan Jack. And he'll be celebrating his 80th birthday tomorrow. So, friend of Phil Glasser. I just want to say happy birthday, Jack, from the Cape Mount Carmel Journalism Department and the broadcasting crew. Now Cape looking to press. And here comes Kendall Forbes. Kendall Forbes is going to get it to McKillips, and McKillips able to convert on the layup. And the clock continues to roll with just 1:50 left to go. It gives McKillips 10 on the evening. Not quite leading her team. That's Kendall Forbes who is, as she has 11. And now McKillips will get a steal. Gets it to Kendall Forbes. Now Kendall Forbes, layup going to be good. Extends the lead now to 16. And now Lizzie Romer puts up a shot. That will be good, and she'll head to the line for a free throw to complete the and one, hopefully. That'll be Martin's first personal foul, team foul number 8 for Bishop Carroll. And Romer unable to convert on her layup, or her free throw, excuse me. And now Kendall Forbes. This is her sister Landon Forbes. Now Martin has it. Martin back inside to Kendall Forbes, back out to McKillips. McKillips back to Landon Forbes. Now Landon Forbes will reset a little bit, gets back out to the logo. Guarded by Lizzie Romer. Sizes up the defense a little bit, looking to burn as much clock as possible. He's trying to solidify the win. Now Kylie Doonan. Kylie Doonan at the crest, now guarded by Myra Nichols, even a tougher defender than Lizzie Romer is. Now Landon Forbes has it double teamed, gets it back out to Martin. Martin will be fouled by Jamino. I don't think that was intentional. As it looks like the Lake Crusaders just trying to get out of here and look forward to Friday night's game against Southeast. They'll be at home. Come out and support the Lady Crusaders at 6:30 Friday evening. Or 6 o'clock Friday evening, excuse me. Don't show up 30 minutes late. That wouldn't be great. That would not be good. And now Martin unable to convert on the first free throw. And now shoot her second, and that will be good. Now 8 of 14 from the free throw line. Bishop Carroll has not done the best job, but it's been serviceable. I mean, they're up on the scoreboard. They can't ask for very much more than that, as that will be out of bounds off of the hands of McKillips. Now McKillips will guard the inbounder, and Myra Nichols get it into Tilly Jones. Tilly Jones to Lizzie Romer. Romer gets it to Tilly Jones. Tilly Jones gets it to Myra Nichols. Myra Nichols gets it to Kate Toma. And Toma gets it to Jones. Jones dancing around in the front court. Around the line. It doesn't really matter, as just 5 seconds left to go. This will be the final possession of the game, it looks like. And Gets off with the last second shot. It won't matter, as that will be the end of the basketball game. Final score will be 43-28. Join us back in about 20 minutes for the Kapaun boys taking on the Bishop Carroll boys. But for now, I'm Gabriel Brian Bonk, and signing off for the boys game. Hello and welcome to Kapaun Mt, Carmel, home of your Kapaun Crusaders, where we welcome you to the second half of the Holy War basketball edition, I would say. As we will see the 7-10 Golden Eagles play the 16-1 Kapaun Mt Carmel Crusaders. We're going to start here with the starting lineups for both sides.
And first up for Carroll is the sophomore guard number 2, Reese Peterson.
And starting out for Kapaun Mt Carmel will be number 0, 6'6" center, junior Will Ancio.
And next up for the Golden Eagles is the senior, number 12, Jack Hartman.
Next up for your Crusaders will be sophomore guard number 4, Will Thingvall.
And for Bishop Carroll, the sophomore center, number 14, Mikey Brand.
At the second guard position, we'll have number 5, senior Luke Porter.
And next up for Bishop Carroll is number 33, the senior Eason Kendrick.
At the small forward position, we will see senior number 10, Isaac Smits.
And rounding up the lineup for the Bishop Carroll Eagles, is the senior forward, Michael Poley, number 44.
And rounding out your Kapaun Mt Carmel lineup will be the team's leading scorer, senior forward, number 11, Henry Thingvall. And talking about Henry Thingvall, Sophia, he has been an absolute beast so far here this season, winning most valuable player at the El Dorado tournament, obviously, but I mean, bigger than that, he's been showing out every single time he goes out on that floor.
Yeah, and I really think it has to do a little bit with it being, of course, his senior season. He wants to go out on a good note. And, you know, this team under Coach Eck has been phenomenal. Their only loss the first game versus the Maize Eagles. And so, really, this team you've seen him progress throughout the season. And as you said, Henry Thingvall is a huge part of that.
And as you said, they've done a great job progressing through the season. Now number 1 team in 5A Kansas basketball. And you can't ask much more, obviously, but as you said, a large part that is due to Henry Thingvall's play. And we're going to see what he can do here tonight. The tip-off will be between Will Ancio for Kapaun Mt Carmel. And then looks to be Eason Kendrick for Bishop Carroll. And after a tussle, it looks like Carroll will have the first possession. And right out of the gate, I think you kind of get the atmosphere that this game is going to be like. It's going to be a tough game. There's going to be a lot of gritty play out there. And there aren't going to be any easy points or really possessions to come by. As Hartman will put up the first shot, that would be no good. A little bit of an ugly floater there to come out of the gate. However, it looks like Mikey Brand will be there for the rebound after a missed shot from Kendricks. Will Thingvall finds his brother Henry Thingvall, full-court pass, and Henry Thingvall drives, and the layup will be good. Nice little offensive spark there right out of the gate for the Thingvall brothers.
And so far, this game really fast-paced, and I think that's how it's going to go. Both teams wanting to drive, get into the paint, and kick out, and so we'll just see both teams doing that.
There we go, Mikey Brand guarded by Henry Thingvall. And Henry Thingvall will pick up his first personal foul, first team foul for Kapaun Mt Carmel. Now Mikey Brand will inbound, finds Peterman. Peterman finds Hartman. Hartman looking around, guarded by Will Thingvall, will lose it. And after a tussle, gets it back. Now Kendricks nearly loses it, and he loses it again. Great job there by Isaac Smits to poke it out. However, it looks like Smits might have had a hand out of bounds there while touching the ball, and according to the rule book, that is out of bounds. And so it looks like Mikey Brand will once again inbound for Carroll.
And Gabe, this is going to be a really aggressive game. I mean, both teams coming out strong, playing solid defense, diving for every loose ball.
And there we go again, Luke Porter. This one's going to be called a jump ball. But great job there initially by Isaac Smith to deflect the pass, and then that was jumped on by what looked to be Michael Pauly, and Luke Porter was right there to jump on it as well. And like you said, Sophia, I'm personally very excited to see this kind of basketball. It's not something we usually see in the modern age of basketball, really old school, hard-nosed basketball. I mean, you almost never get to say hard-nosed when you're talking about basketball these days. But I think that's what we're going to see here tonight as a pump fake sells Hartman, but Henry Thingvall isn't able there to convert on the three-pointer. That'll be his first miss.
And with Bishop Carroll being a young team, it makes sense that they're going to be aggressive. They really got to win on those hustle plays. Still 7-10, decent record, not the best. And so they really just getting those 50-50 balls will be key to help them stay in this game.
Now Brand looking around. Finds Kendricks. Kendricks looking around, finds nobody. Finds the palm of Will Ancio, that is. Now Will Ancio, after a give and go from Luke Porter, gets it to go on the breakaway layup. As Prezi said, credit Luke Porter with that assist. And textbook defense turning into textbook offense there, Sophia.
Yeah, and we've seen that a lot with this team, with the Crusaders, making those defensive plays and getting easy transition points. Now
Reisman's three going to be tipped there by Will Thingvall. Rebound goes to Luke Porter. A great hustle there by the senior. And that ends up out of bounds. I'll be heading back Carroll's direction off the hands of Will Thingvall. But going back to that block that Will Thingvall had, that was really impressive. I mean, that had come off the hands of what looked to be Peterman. I mean, that had a good second in the air before Will Thingvall got to it. I mean, that kind of shows you just how athletic he is and how big that 6'3" wingspan is. And Dominic Shibley will check in for Henry Thingvall. We'll see him for the first time tonight. He's been a great sixth man for the team so far here this season. Now another steal. First deflected by Shibley and then into the hands of Will Thingvall. And now Will Ancio on the other end, unable to convert on the layup, but Will Thingvall able to convert on the putback.
And going back to Dominic Shibley, it was the first time they played Carroll that he really went out there and showed what he could do, driving to the lane, being an aggressive defender. And then from there, he's got more and more playing time and just really helping the Crusaders out.
And Brandt able to get the first basket there for Bishop Carroll. Gets them on the board, scores 6-2. And this is really the first time we're seeing Kapaun slow down the game, trying to get their offense in order. And now Luke Porter able to convert on the little runner there. That gets him his first basket. And Kapaun playing great all-around basketball right now. I mean, the only thing that really they can do is, keep it up. Is now inside to Brand. Brand in trouble. He's going to be fouled on his way to the basket. And that will be Luke Porter's first personal foul. Team foul number 2 for Kapaun Mt. Carmel.
And the Golden Eagles have been moving the ball well. They're just not getting too many shots to go. And that pressure from Kapaun's defense is creating tougher shots for them. And so obviously harder for the ball to go in.
And now Hartman going to check out in favor of Kendricks. Walt Gray also checking in for Bishop Carroll. As the second attempt is good from Brand.
And now checking in for Carroll is number 22, John Hauserman.
And here come Crusaders. Of course, Will Thingvall bringing it up. And we're seeing the Crusaders collapse a lot more on the basket than we're used to. We've seen them, really kind of swing it around the outside a lot more, but they are making it a point to, get in the paint by whatever means possible. Great pump fake there by Will Ancio. That turns into a spin move. However, that's going to be blocked by Walt Gray on the layup attempt. And here comes Brand. Gets it to Hauserman. Hauserman. It's going to be fouled by Dominic Shibley. And I don't think many of the Kapaun fans in this place are happy about that. Speaking of the Kapaun fans and the Carroll fans, Sophia, I have never seen this gym wider than it is here tonight.
No, I think this is the biggest student section for a basketball game we've seen. At least at our time here. I'm sure there's been some huge games. I remember maybe 7 or 8 years ago, there was a huge Kapaun Carroll game that went in double overtime.
Triple overtime.
Triple overtime. It was quite packed.
Carroll won in that game. As now Will Ancio gets a steal on that possession by Carroll, and Isaac Smits will check out in favor of Henry Thingvall. Pauly also makes his return for Carroll. Now looking to see what Kapaun can do on offense. Will Thingvall drives, spins, puts up a shot. That was no good. Rebounded by Walt Gray. Looks like Henry Thingvall might have had a hand on that, but was trying to avoid the foul. Allowed Walt Gray to come away with it. And now Kendricks tries to look from the three-point line. That would be no good. And foul going to be called. Hauserman going to draw the call from Will Thingvall. That will be Will Thingvall's first personal. Team foul number 4 for Kapaun Mt. Carmel. Corbin Johnson and Tegan Charles checking in favor of Luke Porter and Will Thingvall. And Sophia, I mean, if you look at the scoreboard, first thing that really catches your eye is the, Kapaun having 4 fouls and Carroll having no fouls. And this early in the game, that's got to be chalked up to just Kapaun, being a little too fast-paced, a little too reckless as Hauserman knocks down the three-point ball. That brings the game within 2.
And I think that's part of Carroll's strategy, is trying to speed up Kapaun, and they're doing a good job of getting into the lane. But there with Tegan Charles with the jump shot in the lane.
Able to make that one to go. Credit Corbin Johnson with that assist. Speaking of Corbin Johnson, he has been a tremendous freshman for this team as Walt Gray misses the layup. Rebound goes to Dominic Shibley. And now Tegan Charles gets the inside feed from Dominic Shibley, and he will be blocked. That heads their way as Carroll takes its first time out of the game. With about 4 remaining. But as I was talking about with Corbin Johnson, even though he's a freshman, he has done a tremendous job, on defense, being a facilitator on offense, as well as being, one of the best knockdown spot-up shooters for Kapaun Mt. Carmel. And so I'm excited to see what he can do in this game. He had a great outing last time out against Carroll.
Yeah, and it's great, always having a Johnson on the floor for Kapaun Crusaders. Past 4 years, Grant Johnson on the floor. Similar type of player, great facilitator, move the ball around, likes to drive. And, I think one thing Corbin adds is, as you said, his spot-up shooting. Definitely looking for that 3-ball.
Now coming back out, Crusaders going to stick with a similar lineup. Isaac Smith's making his return.
And also for the Golden Eagles, Mikey Brand is in.
Now Jack Hartman also went and gets it inside the Brand. Brand going to be deflected. Is able to get his own putback for the basket. And here comes Tegan Charles. Kicks back out to Dominic Shibley. And as we previously mentioned, Kapaun is really collapsing their offense a little bit here. And presumably just, get as many opportunities on the interior as possible. As in previous games, we've seen Kapaun, try to get the scoring going on the inside first rather than, starting from the outside. Starting on the inside and building to the outside when it comes to offense. And it looks like a charge is going to be called. That will be team foul number 5 and Dominic Shibley's second personal foul. Carroll still yet to pick up a foul. Differential of 5 on the scoreboard.
Yeah, 5 fouls in the first quarter. Crusaders are going to have to be careful. Luckily, Coach Eck has a lot of players that are able to play well and come off the bench, but still 5 fouls, not looking too good.
Now Dominic Shibley and Isaac Smith head off the floor for Luke Porter and Will Antio. As Walt Gray drives, guarded by Antio, puts up a shot. That'll be good. Nice little spin move for the basket. Now Will Thingvall goes all the way up to Henry Thingvall. Henry Thingvall tries to get the dunk to go. That will not be good. However, Tegan Charles right there with the putback and gets that one to go. And Tegan Charles, he's becoming kind of a putback master, so to speak. He's always in the right place at the right time, it seems. And he's done a great job being a good offensive rebounder for Kapaun Mt. Carmel as Luke Porter gets that rebound off a missed shot from Walt Gray for Carroll. And now Luke Porter heading their way with it. Gets it to Will Thingvall. Will Thingvall in trouble. Finds Tegan Charles. Tegan Charles gets it to Will Antio. And Antio will be fouled. First team foul for Bishop Carroll. That will be on Mikey Brand, his first personal.
And one thing I've noticed last couple of possessions is that Jack Hartman is basically face guarding Henry Thingvall. Golden Eagles trying to take Thingvall out of the play. As we were talked about in the beginning, he is a major threat. And so really trying to look to stop him.
As Antio unable to convert on the fadeaway from the lower block, as Michael Pauley and Kendricks come back into the game for Bishop Carroll, and Michael Pauley getting that rebound. And something that Carroll has usually had in the past that they don't have too much this season is the bench depth. I mean, in the past they've had these, really just 12-man roster where every man on that roster could be potentially a starter. And Kapaun has, found himself in a similar situation this season. However, they've been, happy. Foul called on Henry Thingwell, his second personal foul, team foul number 6, and Mikey Brown will shoot 2. Sorry, that distracted me a little bit. What I was going to say is that Kapaun has found themselves, maybe at the beginning of the season that wasn't the case, but over the course of the season, they've been blowing out teams by 20, 30 points. I don't want to sound too cocky, but it's just the reality. And so, when it gets to halftime, it's usually majority JV bench players coming in to finish off the game, and so that's allowed for the bench to, experience real in-game situations and develop overall as players.
And that creates a bright future for...
After a initially missed free throw gets tipped back in, and that will count. That will be Michael Pauley's first basket of the game, and that will put Carroll up by 1 heading in to the first quarter break. And
crazy tip back there. But as I was saying, how Kapaun has a lot of bench players going in, bright future, young guys getting that game experience. And, same thing kind of goes with Carroll. Such a young team, you got to look out for them, next season, the season after that, as they're developing these sophomore players.
And now, if you're heading into the first quarter break, you have to think that Kapaun's trying to go back to what they had coming out of the gate. They were really, thriving on offense and especially playing suffocating defense. Over the past couple minutes, their defense has, loosened up a little bit. They've allowed a few lanes to the basket, a few more open passing lanes, and more open looks. That's not something they're going to be able to do if they want to, solidly win this game. But, we saw this in the first time that Bishop Carroll and Kapaun Mt. Carmel played on January 7th, 2022. It was a 16-point win for Kapaun Mt. Carmel, but at the half, Carroll was up by 1. And so, it shows you that, even though Carroll comes in with a record of 7-10, and Kapaun comes in with a record of 16-1, Carroll versus Kapaun, that was probably Kapaun's toughest, win.
I would definitely agree, and I think it's just that rivalry, playing Carroll. It's a mental mindset, and also Bishop Carroll, they have nothing to lose. 7-10 record, playing number 1 team in the state. No one's thinking they're going to win, so they're just going to go out here and play as hard as they can.
Dan Hanberg also checking in for Carroll out of the first quarter break, and we'll see what happens here as Mikey Brandt underneath the basket guard by Tegan Charles is unable to get that to go, and Will Anto will pick up yet another rebound. Now bringing up his Will Thingwell, finds Dominic Shibley. Dominic Shibley looking around, finds Tegan Charles. Charles back to Will Thingwell, who gets back out to the logo and resets. Now up to Luke Porter. Porter on the wing, uses a screen from Charles to get to Will Ancio. Now Ancio inside to Charles, and foul going to be called by referee. That will be on Michael Pauley. Michael Pauley's first personal, team foul number 2. And just a reminder, Kapaun with that 16 fouls can't afford a single foul in this second quarter. You don't want to allow, especially in a close game like this, you want to allow any sort of bonus free throws. And so Carroll really going to have to, try to, get a few more fouls out of Kapaun if they want to, widen their lead a little bit more, as Max Keller checks in for Kapaun Mt. Carmel. Luke Porter uses the sideline, is unable to get the layup to go. And it looks like knocked out of bounds initially by Pauley, but it looks like the last person to touch it was Luke Porter, according to the ref. So now I'll be heading Carroll's direction.
And Hartman checking in for the Golden Eagles. And Carroll, as you were saying, Gabe, with Kapaun with 16 fouls, Carroll, if they're smart, is going to look to drive or get it in down low to try to draw those fouls.
Hartman tries to walk from 3. That will be no good off the front iron. And Crusader's going to get the basketball after the rebound goes out of bounds off the hands of Van Hanberg, it looks like. And here comes Will Thingwall. Will Thingwall gets to Max Keller. Max Keller looking around, in trouble, gets it to Tegan Charles. Tegan Charles drives, stumbles a little bit, finds an open lane before passing it back out to Will Thingwall. Will Thingwall for three. That is no good. Rebounded by Will Thingwall. Will Thingwall tries to get it to Luke Porter. A little bit of a miscue there, as he might have thought Porter was in a different spot than he was.
And great hustle there by Thingvall following his shot. Just didn't work out.
And Sophia, I mean, we're a minute and a half into this second quarter and no one scored a point yet. Really shows you how much of a defensive matchup this is. As you know, we're typically used to Kapaun, having at least 20, maybe even 30 points by this point in the game. And so we'll see what happens here as they're now on defense. Mackie Brand resets all the way out to the logo, guarded by Tegan Charles, decides to drive. And some tough defense, ends up in a missed three from Van Hayenberg. That's an air ball rebounded by Will Thingvall. And Will Thingvall will pick up draw a foul from Jack Hartman. It'll be Hartman's first personal foul, team foul number 3 for Carroll. Now Will Thingvall bringing it up for Kapaun. We still see them with that more collapsed offense. And on those drives those possessions where we've seen them, have more drawn-out plays as Will Thingvall cashes in for a layup for the first made basket of the second quarter. As I was saying, we see it, as the offense has more of a chance to develop, we see them, at first be really condensed in that lane and then eventually work their way out, trying to get those swing passes around the arc, trying to find an open shooter or an open lane to the basket.
And that's been working really well for them all season. Either starting in, as we saying, or reversing the ball out on the arc and then getting it in. So they have both strategies work well for the Crusaders.
And it looks like Mikey Brand will pick up his first personal as Luke Porter draws a charge and gets the ball back in Kapaun's hands. And it looks like Walt Gray will head off the floor now in favor of Andrew Eustace. As well as Hosserman making his return for Carroll. Now Keller finds Ancio. Ancio back to Keller. Keller in trouble, finds Ancio once again. Ancio loses it. Rebound goes to, ball ends up in the hands of Tegan Charles, who gets it back to Luke Porter. Luke Porter now gets into the hands of Will Thingvall, that is, Now Ancio has it on the inside, will be blocked with foul. And he'll head to the line for 2. That will be Mikey Brandt's second personal foul, team foul number 4. So we talked about, that differential initially in the game, but Carroll picking up some quick fouls here. And they themselves, they have the advantage. They don't want to give that up. They don't want to, themselves get into foul trouble early and potentially send Kapaun into the bonus. As Ancio able to convert on the first. Or no.
He didn't convert.
Sorry, my bad.
No, he did. That's okay.
Sorry, my bad. Ancio unable to knock down the first. And makes a second. And here comes Carroll as Hosserman. A little bit of a heat check there, unable to knock down that 3. And here comes Will Thingvall. Will Thingvall takes it for himself. That will be good. Great drive there yet again by Will Thingvall to convert on the basket. Now Kapaun up by 4. Carroll looking to respond. Here comes Eustace. Eustace gets inside of Hartman. Hartman guarded by Charles. Puts up an air ball. Now Charles can't haul it in. Looks like Keller might have overshot him there a little bit. And that pick off goes into the column of Hauserman as now Luke Porter picks one off for Kapaun. And he will be fouled in transition. That will be Michael Pauley's second personal foul, team foul number 5.
Now Walt Gray and Van Hayenberg checking in for Carroll.
Jack Hartman and it looks like Michael Pauley both heading to the bench, each of them with 2 fouls. And now Will Thingvall tries his luck from 3. That is no good. Peterson, gets the rebound. Now Peterson hitting their way with it, guarded by Max Keller. Gets to the Hauserman. Hauserman guarded by Wolfenball. Gives it back to Van Hanberg. Now back to Peterson. Peterson to Hauserman. Hauserman, sorry. Hauserman able to knock down the mid-range jumper. Now Hauserman with 5 points on the evening. Wolfenball gets it to Luke Porter now. Luke Porter spins out of his coverage and picks up a foul. That will be Peterson. Team foul number 6, personal foul number 1 for Peterson, sorry.
So now both teams need to be careful of sending the other team into the bonus.
As a nice little inbound play gets Ancio a nice easy way up. As Kendricks also has checked in for the Golden Eagles. And here come the Golden Eagles looking to respond. Peterson gets it back out to Van Hanberg. Van Hanberg picked off by Maxwell Keller. And here comes Wolfenball setting up the offense a little bit here. Here comes Ancio. Ancio drives. Layup going to be good. Hard-fought basket there by Ancio. Covered there by Kendricks. And it looks like timeout will be called by Carroll. They will have 3 remaining. Already used 2 in the game. Now caping up by 6. That's a lot more of what Coach Eck was probably looking for out of his guys. After, heading into the first quarter break down by 1.
Finally finding a little bit of momentum there for the Crusaders. Extending the lead to 6 now.
So if you're getting Mount Carmel, you're really just looking to keep things up. We're seeing a lot of bench players come in and have a great effect on defense. Maxwell Keller being a big example of that. He's doing a great job, occupying passing lanes and coming up with a few steals of his own. And so we'll see what Coach Eck decides to do here coming out of the timeout. But I expect to see more of the same. Excuse me.
I definitely agree there. Coach, these guys have been in this position before. Last time they played Carroll, and they got things going in the end of the third quarter, I believe, or midway through the third quarter, started getting things going. And so my strategy, if I were Eck, is just extend the lead now, get a nice cushion lead going into half, and make it tougher for Carroll.
As Carroll will stick with the same lineup, with the exclusion of Michael Pauly returning. In exchange for Walt Gray. Remember, Michael Pauly has 2 fouls, and so in addition to Carroll not wanting to give it the bonus, you really got to be thinking that Michael Pauly, being the team's main center, doesn't want to get into real foul trouble. As Tegan Charles will pick up a foul of his own. That'll be his first personal. Team foul number 7. That sends Carroll into the bonus for 1-1. As now Michael Pauly will shoot. Jack Hartman and Eustace come back in favor of Kendricks and Brand. All of that for Bishop Carroll. And Pauly able to convert on the first. So he'll shoot another.
And one more sub for the Golden Eagles, Braden Beasley.
Coming in for Peterson. And a little thing ball passes into Luke Porter as Pauly able to convert on both his free throw attempts. Cuts the lead just to 4. Looks like Hartman was trying to draw a foul there in the lane, didn't quite get it. As Luke Porter drives, uses the baseline, rips out of 2 defenders, and foul will be called. I'll be on Beasley. And Luke Porter will shoot 1-1. As now Pauly,
Gray, and Peterson.
Pauly, Eustace, and Beasley will come off the floor in favor of Peterson.
Gray and Hartman. Yeah, there we go.
Brand. Brand's back over there. Hartman was already there.
Oh, okay. My bad.
No, it's okay. As Luke Porter able to convert on the first free throw. See what he can do with the second. Second one's good as well. Now here comes Carroll in desperate need of an offensive spark. Brand kicks it to Hauserman. Hauserman looking around, guarded by Maxwell Keller. Kicks it back to Brand. Brand to Peterson. Peterson inside to Hartman. Hartman guarded by Luke Porter. Looks around, gets it to Brand on the inside. Now guarded by Will Ancio. And now in the corner, that's Peterson. Peterson, that will be no good. Rebound goes to Maxwell Keller. And Maxwell Keller will be fouled. And it looks like he might have been hurt there. A few defenders on him. Someone might collapse on his knee. Oh, no, excuse me. Looks like his finger.
I think it's his hand. I saw him earlier before the game getting his hand taped. The tape must have been bugging him or too tight or something, so it took it off. So hopefully his hand or finger or whatever is okay.
It looks to be on his left hand, so it shouldn't affect his shooting too much, but see how these free throws go. First one going to be no good after a few trips around the rim. And here comes Carroll. Hartman double-teamed. Gets pickpocketed by Maxwell Keller. And Hartman on the ground watches as Kapaun is unable to convert on a three-point shot. But Tegan Charles able to pick that one off. And will soon after pick up a foul on the rebound. And, I mean, in the meanwhile, it looks like Hauserman will shoot 1-1. As Tegan Charles and Will Thing will head off a 4 in favor of Corbin Johnson and Isaac Schmidt. Hauserman misses his first free throw. Sorry, that's some technical difficulties there. But Hauserman misses the first 1-1, and so it looks like Luke Porter will get the rebound. Now Corbin Johnson bringing it up for Kapaun. Now Luke Porter drives, checks it, comes back out. Now gets it to Will Ancio. Will Ancio kicks it to Corbin Johnson. Johnson spins around, finds Isaac Schmidt. Schmidt makes his man fall, drives to the basket, and is fouled. And Schmidt, I mean, absolutely disgusting there.
Student section quite excited for that one right there. I mean,
personally, I'm a big fan of Isaac Smith. I don't know about you, but that was amazing. One of the most beautiful pieces of artwork, really, I've ever seen.
In basketball, I would agree.
No,
with
I
that.
think just artwork.
Just in general?
In general.
Yeah.
Regardless, it looks like some substitutions now as Hartman and Mikey Brand come back on for Carroll. As Smits is able to convert on the second one as well. And I mean, really, just great basketball there by Smits.
I'm thinking we got to think of a nice saying for basketball for Schmitz. We had the he can kick, he can pick, and get the 6 for football, but it doesn't really relate here.
I think he's just an artist. I think that's what we should call him.
Just the artist?
Stat sheet. Here we go as Hartman gets Mikey Brand, and now Brand finds Walt Gray, and Hartman able to knock down the three-pointer. Stumbling a little bit, but is able to get up now. Now here comes Corbin Johnson. Kapaun up by 5, looking to extend the lead before the half. Here comes Maxwell Keller. Maxwell Keller thinks about shooting, but then looks around. Finds Will Ancio. Kapaun looking to chew up a little clock here before putting up their shot. Let's see what they can do. As Isaac Smits looks to coach check, gets the play, kicks it off to Corbin Johnson. Johnson trying to lose his man. Gets it over to Maxwell Keller. Maxwell Keller drives, puts up a shot. That will be no good. Rebounded by Hartman. And now Hartman will bring it up for Carroll. Finds Walt Gray. Walt Gray kicks back out to Hauserman. Hauserman for 3. That is good. And now Corbin Johnson bringing it up for Kapaun. Puts up a half-court shot. That will be no good. So we will head into the halftime break. Kapaun up by 2, score 25-23, and Carroll with a 6-0 run to end there in the final seconds of the second half, first half that is, excuse me. But join us back for the second half, I was about to say, in about 15-20 minutes
And enjoy the cheerleading show in the Palmies tonight.
I believe it's just the cheerleading. Or maybe
just the
cheerleading.
cheerleading? Who knows? Whoever is performing, please enjoy the show.
Stay tuned to find out.
Okay.
Regardless, Join us back in about 15-20 minutes for the second half play. Oh, and welcome back to Kapaun Mt Carmel, home of your Crusaders, where we get right back into the second half of action as Kapaun has their opening offensive possession here. As Will Antio, guarded by Brand, eventually gets dumped off to Isaac Smith, and that will end up in nothing, as Bishop Carroll will head back their way after Kapaun ends their offensive possession empty-handed.
Yeah, and Kapaun, coming out with a 2-point lead. Bishop Carroll did go on a run at the end of the second half, 6-0 run, and so there'll be a foul there on, looks like, Mikey Brand. But as I was saying, Carroll coming into halftime with that momentum. So Kapaun, still with the lead, just really needs to take control of the game and dictate which way it's going to go and just set the pace.
And that would be Brand's third personal foul, team foul number 1 for Carroll in the second half of play. And we talked about last half how Kapaun, came out of the gates, had 6 fouls heading into the second quarter, and Carroll had that really in their back pocket. They at one point had a differential of 6-1, and they really kind of threw that away. I mean, Kapaun ended the second half, or first half, in the bonus comfortably with 18 fouls on Carroll's behalf and 18 fouls on Kapaun's behalf. And so coming into this half, it looks like it's going to be a little bit more even here as Henry Thingwall picks up his first of the half, his third personal in the game, and first team foul for Kapaun. As Mikey Brand misses a 3-point ball, ends up in the hands of Will Antio. Now Isaac Smith kicks it to Luke Porter. Luke Porter uses the baseline, tries to find Antio, that ends up in the hands of Kendricks instead. Now heading the way is Mikey Brand. Mikey Brand drives, guarded by Luke Porter. Struggles to get past half court, and foul will be called a little bit late. And Luke Porter will pick up. His second personal. Wasn't too happy about that one.
Yeah, Luke trying to figure out from the ref what he did there.
And now Henry Thingwall going to be guarding Mikey Brand. As Mikey Brand kicks it to Kendricks. Now to Peterson. And now Will Thingwall is going to be called for a foul. That'll be his second personal foul, team foul number 3. And Kapaun picks up 2 fouls in the same possession. And you can't be mad at the calls. You gotta take the calls as they come and keep playing. But if you're Kapaun, you gotta start thinking, hey, come on, you gotta let me play a little bit here.
Yeah, and they have to learn with it to play how the refs are calling the game. After
Hartman misses a layup, Hartman will be called for a foul, and then after Henry Thingwall stares down at Hartman on the ground, it looks like
I think it's
Henry Thingwall will be called for a technical foul. That being said, Hartman's right there clapping into his ear. I don't. Listen, I'm not gonna speak my truth here, but all I'm gonna say is.
And it looks like the refs are discussing. Will Antio, though, not happy.
It could be a potential
either.
double technicals. You can't be clapping into your opponent's ear like that. Okay, so excuse me. The personal foul will be called on Easton Kendrick. That'll be his first personal foul. Henry Thingwall would then pick up his 4th personal, I believe, on the technical. And now Kendrick will be shooting free throws. That confuses me, as I believe it was Hartman that received the technical, or quote unquote received the technical. He was the one being stared down at.
I think you get to choose.
Well,
you get to choose on a technical.
Maybe their big man is their best free throw shooter. We'll see. As he knocks on the first.
He banks it in.
It's not something I would have expected, but maybe that's the case. And the second one is good as well. I will shut up then.
I believe he might have gone 2 for 2 in the first half.
I'll close my mouth then.
Yeah. So now game tied up. And it's not often you see a guy with 4 fouls beginning of the second half. Henry Thingvall not getting the luck today.
As Walt Gray comes on for Kendricks, I mean, we talked about how he's a key piece of this team, and so it's vital for him to stay in the game and not pick up too many fouls. As Dominic Shibley comes in favor of Will Thingvall, and Will Thingvall, Henry Thingvall is the one that checks out. Will Thingvall is now the person who picks up
his third
personal foul, team foul number 5 for Kapaun.
Already 5 team fouls for Kapaun.
And we're not even
Just
two and a
two,
half.
yeah.
We're not even 2.5 minutes into the second half. As Walt Gray pulls up from 3, guarded by Will Ancio, as this will be no good, rebounded by Luke Porter.
And I think Kapaun is just going to have to learn to. Refs are going to call. Yeah, it looks like 1 or 2 hands on a guy, and so Kapaun, they're just going to have to keep their hands off.
As now Walt Gray will pick up his first personal, team foul number 3 for Carroll. Sorry, I got a little excited there. If you're gonna hit a point of the place, you gotta call a whistle.
You do gotta blow the whistle there.
That's kind of a given. As Van Hanberg checks in for Carroll, and Isaac Smits heads out in favor of Tegan Charles for Kapaun. Hauserman, number 22, makes his return for Carroll as well. And Will Ancio will draw another foul. And now it looks like Mikey Brand will pick up a technical. And we'll see what the referees decide.
This is just a wild first 2.5 minutes or so of the second half. 9 fouls called in total.
2 minutes.
It will be 10.
2 minutes and 43 seconds in, we have 9 fouls in total, including 2 technicals. I'm kind of speechless. I'm not gonna lie. It's not Will Ancio will shoot technical free throws. Now the question is, is he also going to shoot his shoe that he got for the shooting foul?
Yes, that did happen our last game against East, and that's good to go. Technical on, but afterwards, I believe these are his 2 free throw shots, and then they'll pick whoever they want for the technical.
So now Will Thingvall will come on.
Or Will Ancio staying on.
You
might
shoot,
as well.
You make 2 in a row, you got to shoot 2 more, right? As now Ancio will come on for a technical free throws. So yeah, okay. Misses the 3rd free throw. My question is, I would think that you would line up your men to rebound the 2 shooting fouls, but I guess they would also get possession after the technical.
Yeah, I think it doesn't matter when there's a technical and a shooting foul.
So Ancio will go 3 of 4 from the line, gives Kapaun a 3-point lead, and that gives Ancio 10 points on the evening. And Kapaun will also have possession due to the technical. And excuse me, as I previously mentioned, I previously thought there was 9 fouls called. There's actually 10, as we are now almost crossing the 3-point barrier in the first quarter of the second half. Sorry.
All I know is that this potentially is going to be a very long game.
And now Ancio gets yet another basket, and he now has 12. Now Hauserman for Carroll finds Walt Gray on the inside, guarded by Tegan Charles. And now Dominic Shibley gets it to Tegan Charles. Now back to Luke Porter at top of the key. Luke Porter drives. Will be no good. Rebound goes to Will Ancio. Ancio in triple coverage will be not fouled, but yet a jump ball going to be called.
And that's going to be Carroll's ball.
Yeah, and that's, as you mentioned, arrows in favor of Carroll, so I'll be going the other way. And people in this stadium, at least the Kapaun fans, are not happy with the officiating so far.
And now Eustace and Peterson checking in for Bishop Carroll.
Now coming back in as well, Hartman, Peterson, and what looks to be Eustace, as you said, sorry. And now Walt Gray will be fouled on the way to the basket. And now Walt Gray will shoot free throws. That personal foul is going to be on Will Antio. That'll be Antio's first of the game. It's team foul number 6 for Kapaun in the second half. Walt Gray able to knock down both.
And Carroll now 7 for 8 on free throws.
Here comes Kapaun. Luke Porter has it on the wing. Guarded by Pearson. Now guarded by Hartman. Gets to the Antio. Antio inside to Chicken Charles. Chicken Charles pump fake spins. That will be no good. Rebound goes to Hauserman of Carroll. And now Hauserman intercepted by Luke Porter. Luke Porter going the other way with it. Gets past Walt Gray. Now gets to the Walt Thangball. Walt Thangball goes and will not be converting on the way up and will pick up a charge. That'll be his 4th personal foul, team foul. Excuse me. Blocking foul going to be called. That will be Jack Hartman's 3rd personal foul, team foul number 6 for Carroll, that is. Sorry, got a little too ahead of myself. Able to convert on the first.
And now Beasley and looks like Poley checking in for the Golden Eagles.
And now Thangball able to give her on both free throws. Kapaun now 10 of 11 from the free throw line. And here come the Golden Eagles. That's Michael Pauly, gets it to Peterson. Pauly gets to Walt Gray, guarded by Walt Antio. Walt Gray loses it, gets it back, and gets it to Michael Pauly. Michael Pauly finds Eustace in the corner. Eustace gets it back to Beasley. Beasley back to Peterson. Peterson to Walt Gray in the corner. Walt Gray unable to get on the 3. Eustace has it, gets it to Michael Pauly. Michael Pauly intercepted. That deflected by Will Antio into the hands of Will Thangball. Will Thangball gets it up to the quarter, who misses the layup, and Will Antio there on the putback attempt and is able to get that one to convert. Timeout going to be called by what looks to be Kapaun Mt. Carmel. That'll be their first of the game. They'll have 4 remaining. And an absolutely wild third quarter of play, to say the least.
Or it looks like it was on Carroll. Timeout called on Carroll.
Sorry, I mean, I would have thought, Coach Eck has not used a single timeout yet, forcing Carroll to use 3.
And just the way the game is going, if I'm the Carroll coach, I want to save timeouts for the end of the game. And so
maybe Coach Eck playing a little bit of a mind game with him.
I mean, Coach Eck's been in the business for a long time.
A while.
He knows how to do the mind games.
Barring whatever, sorry, a little too excited about what's going on in front of me. What I was going to say is, excluding tonight's result, Eck is 7 wins away from 1,000 career wins.
I believe if they win the state championship.
No, he doesn't have to get that far.
He has to get to the Final Four, win the Final Four. He'll get his 1,000 win game.
That would be pretty insane.
That would be awesome. And then if they went on to win the state championship, that would be quite.
I think we're putting too much out.
We are putting too much. But yeah, 7 more games. Wow. Let's hope they get that far and he can see that 1,000 win career this season.
And Walt Gray misses the turnaway fader as rebounded by Luke Porter. And on the other end, Dominic Shibley able to hit that jump shot from the paint. And now, here come the Golden Eagles. Walt Gray looking around, gets it to Hauserman. Hauserman gets it back to Eustace. Eustace looking around. Guarded by Tegan Charles, gets it to Peterson. Peterson back to what looks to be Beasley. Beasley back to Hauserman, and Hauserman gets it back to Walt Gray. Before that, gets back to Peterson. And Carroll just swinging around the outside, and travel going to be called. And that will head the other way. That's Kapaun with a chance to expand their lead up by 9. Looking to make that double digits on this possession. Dominic Shibley faces some tough coverage, as will Antio. Able to convert on the reverse layup. Feed comes from Tegan Charles. As Antio now with 16, leading both sides in scoring. It's now Walt Gray, guarded by Will Antio. Loses it. And it looks like moving screen going to be called on Hauserman. That'll be his 3rd personal, team foul number 7.
I believe that's actually a foul on Charles. And so Gray will be shooting.
Oh, no, excuse me, sorry. Sorry, I thought the referee pointed the other direction, my bad. Well, yeah, no, Gray will be shooting. That'll be a 7th team foul for Kapaun, that is. 3rd personal foul for Charles. And now after a fight for the ball, Luke Porter comes up with it. And now here comes Dominic Shibley. Dominic Shibley staying the 4. Spins, kicks it back out to Corbin Johnson, who has just checked into the game for Kapaun, sorry. Jack Hartman has checked in for Carroll. Johnson gets past Hartman. He gets to the Luke Porter. Luke Porter drives, finds some space, gets to the Will Antio. Antio able to convert on the right-handed layup.
Great pass by Luke Porter. Way to find Will Antio.
Will Antio now with 18 points.
Really just stepping up this game, you know, with Henry Thingvoll having to sit because of his 4 fouls. Antio really stepping it up.
And Antio is the 2nd leading scorer on the season, averaging about 14 points a game. And so, you know, he's not too far behind Henry Thingvoll in the scoring department. Now Peterson gets it to Hauserman. Hauserman trying to hold on to the ball. Carroll looking for the last shot here with just 15 seconds remaining in the 3rd quarter. Now Peterson gets it to Walt Gray. Walt Gray takes it to Eustace. Eustace unable to convert. And now Dominic Shibley able to save that one. And now Corbin Johnson chucks up another half-court shot, and this one's no good.
And the student section really messing up Carroll there. You know, still about 8 seconds left by the time he took that shot. Yeah.
Of course, Eustace to put up a tough 3, as you said. But I just kind of want to reflect on this 3rd quarter we just watched. 13 total fouls, and just an absolutely just it was crazy. 2 technical fouls.
Yeah, after Kapaun shot their technical foul free throws, they just took off from there. They used that momentum and just attacked at Carroll, up 13 now.
And I think, you know, when those fouls started getting called, you know, a little bit tighter than they usually do, I think I got a few guys on that field going, or on the court, going a little bit more, and, you know, playing a little bit harder, getting a little bit agitated, playing, you know, a little bit of veracity out almost. And so they're looking to keep that going in the final quarter and looking to solidify this win. Up by 13 entering the 4th. Kapaun is in good possession. But still not over.
Still not over. Carroll has, you know, Kapaun with that 6 to 8 point lead in the 2nd quarter. Carroll, you know, went on a run, cut that lead to 2, and so we'll see what the Golden Eagles are going to come out here with.
Now, start off the 4th quarter. Looks like both teams will be staying with similar lineups. So it looks like Kendrick's checking back in for Carroll, along with Michael Pauly. Now Porter gets by Hartman and gets the and one attempt. And now Carroll in some foul trouble. It looks like Michael Pauly will pick up at his 3rd. as Porter heads to the line.
And Hauserman coming in favor of Hartman.
As Luke Porter puts up his free throw. That'll be good.
Luke Porter coming to play today has been really aggressive, attacking the lane, getting a few floaters, and great job by number 5.
And now here come the Golden Eagles, needing a response, down by 20. No. 16? 16, my apologies. As some good defense from Dominic Shibley prevents Michael White from scoring, but it looks like Hauserman is going to be there on the putback, 482. That gives Hauserman 10 points on the evening. And here comes Corbin Johnson. As Dominic Shibley gets it back to Will Antio. Will Antio gets it to Corbin Johnson. Corbin Johnson surveying forward, gets it to Tegan Charles. Tegan Charles drives. Will be called for a jump ball. And Will Thing we're going to be entering the game once again in favor of Tegan Charles.
And Gray coming in for Kendrick.
And here comes Mikey Brand and Peterson for Carroll. And Carroll able to get a basket at the last possession. They needed one here too. As now Mikey Brand is going to be blocked, but a foul. So that will be the 8th team foul for Kapaun. And looks to be Dom Shibley's 3rd personal foul. And looks like we're going to see a lot of double bonus free throws here in the 4th.
We will. And
on the pace that we're going right now. As Mikey Brand able to convert on the first free throw.
And not able to convert on that second one.
Here comes Corbin Johnson, gets to Will Thingbull. Will Thingbull looks around, trying to drop a play. And it'll be called for a carry. And I'll be heading their direction. Kapaun Sioux section is pretty funny.
They are.
They're chanting for Walt Gray at Carroll. I think that's great. And now Mikey Brand will pick up another 2 points. That gives him 9 on the evening on that layup. And Kapaun will now be up by 11. So Carroll chipping into that lead a little bit. But it looks like Kapaun will call their first timeout of the game in the 4th quarter. As Steve Eck will have 4 timeouts remaining. We'll see how he decides to use those.
I guess it just all depends on really Carroll. Carroll needs to find ways to get stops on defense and then really just try to focus, getting those easy shots. 6 minutes left, plenty of time for an 11-point deficit.
So we'll see what happens. Corbin Johnson going to bring it up for KMC. Corbin Johnson gets it to Will Thingbull. Will Thingbull looking around. Gets it to Luke Porter. Luke Porter tries to find some open space. Gets back to Johnson. Johnson looks to reset. Tries to get past Peterson. He does. Finds Luke Porter on the baseline. Baseline. So he kicks back out. Porter finds Johnson. Johnson puts up a shot. That'll be no good. Tough shot. Guarded well by Peterson of Carroll. And here comes Mikey Brand. Gets it to Hauserman. Hauserman in trouble. Gets it to Walt Gray. Walt Gray is going to call for a travel. And so Kapaun will have it once again.
And Henry Thingvall checking in for Kapaun.
And as a reminder, Henry Thingvall has 4 personal fouls, so he'll have to be extra careful here. And if you're Carroll, when you're on offense, you're going to be looking to drive at him as much as possible. As Henry Thingvall going to convert on the and one, comes off the bench and has an immediate impact. So he'll head to the line for the and one attempt, as Kapaun will attempt their 13th free throw.
And Beasley coming in for Carroll.
Along with Aaron Pham. And now Dominic Shibley splits two defenders. Gets it to Luke Porter, and Luke Porter pulls up from the free throw stripe. That'll be no good. Nice little pump.
Yeah, I got Brand flying there.
Now Hazelman looking around. Has some, I don't know what's going on. I mean, looks like Pham took a bit of a tumble there. As Hazelman tries to hit the moving mid-range jumper, that's no good. And now full court pass. And oh my gosh! That was beautiful. Will Thingvall to Henry Will Thingvall to Luke Porter, back to Henry Thingvall for the layup. And
great connection there.
Just shows you really how good the chemistry on this team is. And Will Thingvall with the hustle, Will Hansio with the hustle play. And now Henry Thingvall drawing yet another foul. Will head to the line for two more shots. I like the style of play Henry Thingvall's going for right now.
Yeah, he's sitting on the bench for almost full third quarter. Just a lot of time in the second half. He's got that energy and he's ready to go.
Hazelman will head to the bench in favor of Jack Hartman. As now Henry Thingvall able to run a first. That'll probably be team foul number 9 for Carroll. Thingvall looks to convert on the second, looks like, as he does. Here comes Hartman for Carroll. It's at the Pham. It's the Beasley. Beasley back to Pham. Beasley back inside. Brand under the control on the wing first. And now it'll be rebounded by. Will Thingvall, sorry. That's Max Brownhill. Max Power. It'll be no Brownhill attempt. Consider to be the team possession here. That'll be eastbound off of Beasley.
It looks like
Max Keller is going to be
coming out. Looks like he was, or just talking to Eck, he was looking for a foul there on his three-point attempt.
And now Henry Thingvall puts 1 for 3. That is good! Henry Thingvall spending most of the game on the bench, but now has 11 points.
He came in about a minute and a half ago with 4 points in 7 points in that, a minute and a half, 2 minute span.
Now Henry Thingvall goes. That'll be blocked at the rim. And Will Hansio shooting 2 at the line. We apologize for that technical difficulty. Now Will Hansio unable to convert on a first. Luke Porter will now come in favor of Dominic Shibley. And Henry Thingvall, I mean, just absolute beast here.
Phenomenal.
Just with 7 points in the last couple of minutes. Just not much more you can ask of the guy. As Will Hansio unable to convert on either of his free throws, excuse me. This kid is now 13 of 17 on the night. Now Michael Pauly drives. And he'll be pickpocketed, excuse me, by Will Thingwall, and foul's going to be called on Michael Pauly. That'll be his 5th personal foul, and he will exit the game. So that will be the end of his night.
And Zach Steven coming in.
Zach Steven will be checking in for Carroll. And, yeah. Not exactly what you want when you're trying to get back into a game. I mean, right now there's not really a whole lot of hope for Carroll as they are down by 20 with just 3 minutes and 10 seconds remaining. As Will Thingwall unable to convert on his free throws. Looks like the Crusaders having a little bit of trouble converting on his free throws down the stretch. Something they're going to want to, work on heading into the playoffs.
Yeah, and I think, sometimes it's when you're up by this much, you don't think you necessarily need to make the shots, and so that could be part of it.
And now Will Ancio going to be called for over the back, it looks like. It'll be his 2nd personal foul. Looks like he might be a little confused on that call. Nevertheless, that will be going to the other end as Kendrick will shoot 1-1. Misses the first, and that will be rebounded by Henry Thingvall. Henry Thingvall heading the other way with it. Gets up to Will Ancio. Will Ancio gets it back to Luke Porter. Luke Porter gets it to Will Thingvall. Now looking to slow it down a little bit. Will Thingvall gets it to Luke Porter. Just looking to get the best look possible. And out of every possession, looking to slow it down, get as much time out of every possession as possible. As now Henry Thingvall tries to look from 3, that'll be no good. Rebounded by Luke Porter. Luke Porter in trouble, tries to get to Will Ancio and does not. As after some deflection by Will Ancio and Mikey Brand, it will end up off the hands of Will Ancio, and Mikey Brand will inbound for Carroll.
And Braden Beasley coming in for Jack Hartman.
Now Zach Steven hands it out to Hauserman. Hauserman gets it to Kendrick. Kendrick back to Beasley. Beasley gets it inside to Brand. Brand gets back out to Kendrick. Kendrick tries to look from 3. That is no good. Rebounded by Ancio. Ancio ripping that one out of the air while knocking Beasley to the ground. And now Will Thingvall gets that one around and in. And there's just too much going on right now for me to keep track of. Is Kapaun just running away with this one? Up by 22. And I mean, you kind of hear it a little bit from the fans right now, and they're exactly right. This will be one of the first times Kapaun has swept Bishop Carroll. That is a 3 from Kendrick, by the way. This is one of the first times Kapaun has swept Carroll in the regular season for almost 10 years.
Yeah, quite impressive by the guys' team. In the past, Carroll has been a very dominant boys' team, and so awesome, especially for these seniors, to sweep the Golden Eagles.
Now Will Thingvall gets up to Henry Thingvall. Henry Thingvall goes up. Dog is gone! Yeah, baby!
Henry Thingvall with the slam!
And all I gotta say, Sophia, is that Kapaun's been a little brother for a long time. And all I gotta say is the little brother's all grown up now. And they're ready. They're ready. And an absolute monster game for Henry Thingvall. Of course, having those 4 personal fouls early in the game, having to sit most of the game, comes back into the game late into the 4th quarter, and is going to end tonight with 13 points as he checks out.
That was his best dunk of the season, in my opinion. Totally just two-handed slammer jammer.
And now group substitution is Nathan Thingvall, Maxwell Keller, Corbin Johnson. Oh, and then Corbin Johnson draws a charge. And it looks like that would be Colin Tran's first personal. Colin Tran along with what looks to be Aaron Pham checking in. as Will Antio checks out of the game with 18 points and 9 rebounds. He absolutely went crazy tonight. I mean, just absolutely insane, Sophia. As Bo Dowling and Kyle Kale also check in. And now Bo Dowling on the lower block puts up a shot. That'll be no good, but he'll hit the line for 2 shots. And Sophia, it's got to feel good to be a Kapaun Crusader right now.
What a fun game. I mean, neck and neck. First half, beginning of third quarter. Then Kapaun just grabbing it and going with it. Getting that lead. And really, you know, a spark happened when Henry Thingvall came back in. And props to him.
And now Bo Dowling can miss the free throw. And Sophia, as you said, I mean, you know, maybe he didn't, you know, come in and get Kapaun the lead initially, but he made it unreachable. As now Kapaun is going to walk out of here with presumably at least a 20-point lead. As now with 15 seconds left, Van Hamburg knocks out at 3, so it doesn't look like it will be a 20-point win, but 18 points right now as Corbin Johnson looks to be dribbling out the final seconds. And now Johnson finds Maxwell Keller in the corner. And Nathan Thingvall puts up a 3. That is no good. Nevertheless, it looks like Kapaun will sweep Carroll in the regular season.
Great win.
With a final here tonight of 56-38. And Sophia,
Awesome
I said
job.
it before, I'll say it again. It's good to be a Kapaun Crusader here tonight. And with that, we're going to sign off after an 18-point Kapaun win.
Great job. Great job by these guys. And join us Friday for senior night versus the Southeast Buffaloes. I'm Sophia Jamino.
And I'm Gabriel Bryanbach. Have an absolutely wonderful night, everybody.